Charlotte.
And I'm Charlotte.
And I'm Titus.
And welcome to the first episode of The Grounded Drift. Though we're drifting in the waves,
We are grounded in our faith.
Here at The Grounded Drift, we recognize that while Christian youths are drifting in life's transitions and challenges, our faith in Christ is the anchor that grounds us. And we hope that through this podcast, we're able to encourage you to live out your faith courageously, but in love, respect, and gentleness. So, for today's episode, we hope to introduce ourselves so that you get to know us a bit better.
Up close and personal.
So I'm Charlotte, I'm 19 this year, and I graduated from JC last year. So a little bit about me is that I grew up going to church, but I didn't have a personal relationship with God. And a lot of things happened in my life, even though I'm just 19, but that caused me to leave church when I was Sec 2. So I told God, okay, God, I believe that you are real, but I don't want to be a Christian anymore. So I left church, but I was still in my cell group chat. So 1 year later, when I was 15, my cell group was having this boyfriend-girlfriend relationship series. And I was like, oh, that's quite interesting, because I love love, right? So I went, and then...
Did you find boyfriend?
No, there wasn't any guys there. There was only one guy, at that time. So, I can't find a boyfriend there. But anyways, I went back to church. I felt like, hey, actually the people there, they're quite nice. They're not bad. So I continued going. And then there was this church youth camp, which I attended also. And on the first night, the first service, there's a altar call. So I responded because he said, if you've been Christian your entire life, but tonight you want to re-surrender your life to God, raise your hand. So I rose my hand. And then at that moment, I just felt can you imagine there's someone in the middle of four walls, and suddenly there's a big force, piang, and then the walls just lie flat. Yeah, and then the person was trying to fly away, but then there's a chain anchored to the person's leg, but the chain snapped, so the person could fly and be free. So similarly, I felt that I was that person, and the walls and the chains represented the resentment and the negativity in my life. Yeah, so at that moment, I felt that I was being freed by God, freed from my past. Yeah. But even after becoming a Christian, it didn't mean that my life was so smooth sailing. I still made a lot of mistakes. Life was tough. so yeah, but I can say that God has changed my life, and I've experienced His love and His goodness. And I really want my friends and my family who have yet to know Him to experience Him as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's super inspiring actually, because it's a pivotal moment and then you suddenly know, God is there. Okay, so for me, I just finished O-levels last year, and I just graduated from secondary school. So I also grew up from a Christian background. I grew up in church, and I also was taught knowledge about God and everything. I knew it in my mind, but I didn't believe it by heart, and I still thought that God was a stranger. So actually, I didn't have a moment like Charlotte's, but I did experience God's goodness in my life. So during O-levels last year, I was actually struggling a lot because
O-levels is tough.
Yeah, O-levels is super tough. I was someone who didn't like to study, which is why I'm going to poly.
It's a stereotype.
No, but
Correct now, poly students.
I'm so sian of studying. Yeah, but I was also a person who gave up really easily because I was very lazy. Yeah, and I never could find the motivation to go and study. And so it builds up until before prelims, and then I start to panic. Yeah. But even though Sec 4 was one of the most stressful times of my life, it was actually my most fun year in school. Because God showed me His love through blessing me with a community of friends, not just in church with myself, but also with my friends in school. He blessed me with people I could study with and people I could rant to about my struggles, and also people that I could go out with once in a while just so I can relieve stress. Yeah, so I think God really sees my struggles and He provides for me and He comforts me as well. Because I remember I was like at my wit's end in sec 4 already, like serious, like I couldn't go on, like my strength was like max out. And then when God says that where my strength ends is where His strength begins. So I really experienced that, and in the weeks leading up to my O levels, I felt His presence with me, and and I managed to like study, and eventually I did okay for O levels.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so I'm really thankful for the love that God has shown me, and I hope to be able to share this love to others who do not know Him yet, especially my friends in school, because I've like made so much memories with them, and I want them to know the love of God too. Yeah.
So I did not just graduate. I graduated from secondary school, JC, very, very long ago. Okay, I'm actually a staff with Singapore Youth for Christ, and I grew up also similarly in a second generation Christian family. So I was always exposed to Christianity, been going to Sunday school since I was young. And in Sunday school, my mom was actually the one who was in charge of Sunday school, so I was actually memorized a lot of Bible verses, memorized all the songs, and but I think I had all this head knowledge, but I did not actually know God personally. I think I know about God, but I didn't really know God personally, and I think that was until I finished Sunday school, went to the youth, and I think at my first youth service, that was when I actually felt God's presence, and I felt that the God that I read about, the God that I have learned so much about, is actually real, and this God is someone who wants to know me, and I should want to know Him as well. So I think that was a one turning point in my life, but my life did not change immediately. I think when I went to secondary school, I was still very rebellious. I think when I went to secondary school, I was trying to fit in because it's a new environment.
Yeah.
And I decided to make myself different from everyone. So I was very vulgar in my speech. And I think every 2 or 3 sentences, I would put some vulgarities inside. I didn't even know what the vulgarities were, didn't understand what I was saying, but I just say them because I thought it's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, I'm very cool, I thought it was very popular because I was so mature with my speech. Okay, but I think what I realized after a while was during one of the I think in secondary school you select student council by voting, or like at least they nominate students by my class did it by voting. So I think we had to nominate 3 students in class. So we just put 3 names that we think is suitable for student council, and then we submit to the teacher, and the teacher would figure out the vote, and then I guess he selects the top few. So we all submitted 3 names. The shocking thing for me was when he revealed the votes, I received 0 votes.
Gosh.
Okay, so I think that's a reflection of how my classmates saw me, and how they saw me as just a guy that was just fooling around, and not someone that they should follow. Yeah, so that was a wake-up call for me, and I recognized that, being a Christian, yes, it's about your faith, it's about believing in God and believing in Jesus and what Jesus has done for you, but after that, there has to be a change in your life. And this change has to be evident to the people around, and people around has to see that, hey, this person's life has changed because of what God has done. Of course, it wasn't an immediate process, like, immediately all the vulgar words and was cut out of me. I think it took me 2 years. 2 years for vulgar words to leave my vocabulary.
Yeah.
And I think a further 5 or 6 years for because sometimes when some things happen, then you will curse in your mind, but you don't actually say it out loud.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that took another 5 or 6 years for that to be purged from my thought process. Yeah. So, but I think God's still working in me. I do recognize that I'm still a sinner. I still fall, and I do need to rely on God, to rely on Jesus' blood to bring me back into a relationship with Him. And I do feel that actually that's one big problem that the world has today, that the problem of sin. Okay, that is, sin permeates our lives and it causes so much problems in the world today. How we interact with other people, how we treat God, and I think that's something that the world really needs a solution for that. And I do believe that the solution to that is through Jesus and Jesus' death on the cross. Yeah, so I think that's for me how I see what my faith means, and that's what I like to share with my friends and share with you guys.
Yeah, I remember when I was in primary school also, like during Sunday school, they would say like, oh, you need to share the gospel with your friends, blah, 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 blah. And then I know the Bible says it's a great commission, right? For me, I didn't have a personal relationship with God. God to me back then was just the guy in church, the person my mother believes in, right? And you tell me this kind of thing, I would say, okay, then I'll go to school and I'll be like, I went to church last Sunday.
Good job.
Yeah, but to me back then it's like it means nothing to me, Yeah, and so I feel that when it comes to sharing your faith, it must come from you first experiencing God, and then after that you have that genuine desire to want to share with others. It's like a very, very exciting good news that you don't share, you cannot. Like for example, who likes K-pop? Do you like K-pop? Yeah, it's like who's that? Someone came to Singapore, right? 17.
17. Yeah, 17.
17 came to Singapore, right? And then it appeared on the news, for example. And as a avid K-pop lover, which I'm not, I have to share with all my friends, right? Hey, 17's here, 17's here. If I'm not a fan, I tell you, hey, 17's here. Like, you can see it. Like, there's like a difference. Like, one is I have the desire to want to share, like genuine desire. Another one is just like, okay, lor.
Yeah.
So did you go and see?
No, I didn't. Not the biggest fan. So like I too much money. Yeah.
You had too much money?
No, too much money. For me, I actually always thought I always been insecure about sharing my faith because even though I really do care for my friends and I really want them to come to church, like you got a God who loves you, you got a community. Yeah, but I was always insecure on my spiritual walk with God because I honestly don't have... I mean, right now I'm still growing and I don't have that deep of a relationship with God. I always envied others who were more spiritually mature than me because I was they can definitely share the gospel with others. Yeah, but I heard I've seen in the Bible the verse that the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. And I was thinking that actually every one of us is not perfect and everyone struggles with their own challenges in sharing the gospel, and I should seize every opportunity that God blesses me with to share the gospel with my friends. I haven't actually actively shared it yet, but I'm working on it. Yes.
I think that's a journey because we all have the journey together. It's not an individual thing for you.
Yeah.
But I think also at the end of the day, it is a responsibility and a privilege to share our faith, to bring the God that we know, the God that we love, and bring it to other people. And I think that's the beauty of what God has entrusted us with. And His promise is also that He will never leave us and He's always beside us.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we also love to... Okay. So we also love to hear your story. So you'd like to share with us your story, and I would like to find out more. You can leave your comments or your story in the comment section below.
Yeah. Comment down below. We'll read it.
Thank you for watching this episode on The Grounded Drift.
Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button.
I'm Charlotte.
And I'm Charlotte.
And I'm Titus.
And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye!